hang about
Started.
around.
Oh, okay.
Stop the
Yeah.
UPS trucks from going through.
We called to,
All right, call the special meeting of the Village Board of Trustees. We have a quorum. This is for consideration of newly elected fire department officers. If anyone has no objection, I will just read them off and we can approve the whole slate. We'll pause for a second. We have one more member. Trustee Miller, good morning.
Good morning.
As far as what I've stated so far, is if no one has any objection, I'll read through the list and we can approve the whole slate of elections. So approval of Jim Barber as chief, first chief, John Kokoza Hill, second assistant chief, Matt Oswald. And we'll acknowledge the captain, Nick Benjamin, first lieutenant, Ryan Russell, second lieutenant, Caleb White, scuba lieutenant, or scuba captain and scuba lieutenant.
They had no results.
No results? Okay. I was assuming it would be Jeremy Crispell, but I didn't know if he was running or had the time. President Donnie Smith, Vice President Hugh Sullivan, Secretary position is open, Treasurer is open, Board of Directors, Frank Nestro, Bob Evans, Mac McDonald. I'll take a motion to approve the slate of newly elected fire department officers.
I'll take that. I'll make that motion.
Okay, motion by trustee Joe. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Miller. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Mayor votes aye. I do have one new thing that came in just yesterday. We need to get a payment, permissive referendum for the chassis, and the aerial has started. A chassis is complete, the aerial has been started. And whatever it would deem necessary by the treasurer when she returns to get started, move money from reserves in the amount of $422,534.
No,
Or is that
that's,
one of
that's for the aerial.
Oh,
The
it's the aerial, okay.
487,096 is for the chassis. And that's the one that we have the invoice for that we need to pay. as
Well,
soon as
47.
possible.
Okay. it's
Yeah,
back.
$487,096. And the payment, we're negotiating because they wanted it due in 15 days for our 18,706 discount, but for some reason, they don't realize how municipal accounting works. So we're in contact with them to explain it to them and continue to get our $18,000 discount. I can understand how they don't understand that, because sometimes if they're dealing with a town or a consolidated fire district rather than a village municipality or city, then they would expect payments sooner. So I will take a motion to approve on that.
Make that motion.
Motion by trustee Miller. Is there a second?
second,
Seconded by trustee Filomeno. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Mayor votes aye. Anybody have anything else? Keith, we had a brief discussion and continuation spillover from yesterday afternoon to today on the corner of McGillis and
Yeah.
Canada. It doesn't appear that the state is doing that, and they believe it's ADA compliant, so they're not gonna touch it, but there is a ton of broken
There's so many-
pavers there.
There's so many things wrong in that corner that whether it's compliant or not, they should be pulling it out and redo it so it matches, first off, matches, aesthetically and structurally. The ADA application, if it's already, if it's compliant ADA condition, then they should just redo it, regardless, that they,
The port
just,
state.
the detectable pavers are broken up. That's a trip hazard as we all walk through there, we see it every day. So I think we'd like to put a little, notice into the state and the project coordinator and have them do that corner.
Yeah.
It makes absolutely no sense not to do that.
If you set up a call, I'll gladly attend, and Jose,
Yeah. Okay.
street commissioner would likely
I'll
be.
have to- I'm not sure who the coordinator is of the project, but maybe John John might have that information. or-
Yeah, and I reached out to Dan last night. He was in touch with them. When our emails got changed or
Oh.
got lost, the point of contact was sent in August when the 2-week outage of our
Oh,
emails
okay.
occurred, so
Okay.
I've been kind of in the dark. I do have some older emails, including the one that showed the photo sims that they were planning on just doing poured concrete. And we
Oh,
said,
right.
we kind of pushed back and said, well, we have, pavers and
Yeah.
stamped concrete would be better. And they said, sure, that's fine.
Right.
But they didn't tell us they weren't doing that corner.
Right, so again, if they deem it to be ADA compliant, then there's no reason why they should, it's an easy fix.
Yeah.
For them to do that corner.
All right, because there's less work. They don't have to do the,
They don't have to.
granite curbing or
modify
anything.
Anything.
right.
Correct, so.
Okay, let's push back on that.
Yep. Okay.
And that's pretty much all I got. Everybody else good? Oh,
I just got an email from Jim Lieberman this morning, pertaining to the, MS4 agreement, with, MOA. Well, I just read a little bit of it this morning, that lays out the scope of what the soil and water district will help us, with, and so on and so forth. It just spells it out a little bit more. And I did notice there's a couple things that we should talk with, Mr. Lieberman, just to get some clarity on some of the topics that are there.
Okay.
So we can reach out this week or something like that. and-
yep, meet with Jimmy
I don't know if
anytime.
anybody else got that or not, but I just got it this morning.
I think I have it in my inbox.
Okay.
But I know there's also some talk of improvement on the Westbrook Conservation Initiative, which is the pathways over
Mhm.
by Wood Park
Oh,
on the other side,
Yeah.
on the town side by the Tiki Bank.
Yep.
It's getting narrower and narrower as the grass creeps in. There's
Yeah.
some,
Because it's gravel.
there's some, bishop weed and bittersweet that's
all
kind of
kinds
invading over
invasive
there.
stuff.
And I heard that area though is just like like ticks. All crazy.
We talked about putting tick tubes out a couple years ago, and I think that'd be a good thing to revisit with soil and water as well as Chris Novitsky, and any of those, just,
Yeah, because I've heard people say they come out of there with their dogs and their dogs are covered in ticks.
Mm.
Which I mean, they're everywhere.
they are everywhere. We do the little chewable and then the oil on the back of the dog, but
Yeah.
we've been lucky so far. But, okay, so
Yeah,
we'll set
I
that
think
up.
Right now, I
and-
think it's, yeah. we
Okay.
can Focus on those two topics and go from there.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Take a motion to adjourn.
Make that motion?
So ordered. It's our time. How quick was that? 8 minutes.
Set a record.
I don't know. I'm not sure what it is anymore.
That was 4 minutes.
Was it 4?